2015 was a turning point year of my life. On January the 4th, I turned 54, which was the age of my retirement. When Newsom and I got married, we decided that we were both going to establish our careers. I was going to work for 30 years straight through, have 2 kids, and retire at 54. There you go. As most of you know, life goes rarely as is planned. Case in point, second big thing was retiring on February the 2nd, 2015. The plan was to retire on June 2nd, but due to administrative constraints, I retired on February the 2nd, 2015. One of the best decisions of my life, because I gained freedom once again to pursue the avenues down which to lay my own footprints. In February, I saw a therapist, went to Carrollton, sought help from Lee Lovett, and in March, we laid Miss Jo to rest. We spent time with Newsom's family and with Newsom's law partners. Friends and family gathered at the farm and at 210 South Smith Street. Grant invited me back to North Hall High School, where I got to reacquaint myself with former students. Grace Episcopal Church was a huge part of my life in 2015. I enjoyed a lot of time in my big backyard, and I also enjoyed going back to Oxford as an alumni. This was about the time that I began running into former students at gas stations, restaurants, and in my big backyard. In those 80 days after my retirement, Grant helped me reconnect with all those formers and friends as a senior at North Hall High, doing all the things that seniors do. Grace was busy making wedding plans. In early May, we had an engagement party at the Foresters. My retirement party was in the Queendom on Cinco de Mayo. May was such a big month. I sneaked back to North Hall, both the middle school and the high school, to be with formers, friends, and family every chance I could get. These pictures of my retirement party tell the story of the support of my colleagues, friends, and family that I had at North Hall Middle. In June, Grant had 6 wisdom teeth pulled. I ran into a plethora of former students, and we spent time entertaining Mr. Frank after Miss Jo passed away. We took Newsom's daddy to Smithgall Woods and Elachi, because Mr. Frank liked to walk. I'm telling you, Grace Episcopal Church is a sanctuary. I got to play catch-up with formers I had not seen in a while, and four-year participants. We took Mr. Frank to our favorite tomato house and our favorite nursery, Full Bloom. During this turning point year, I got to hug necks of all the above: colleagues, friends, family, formers, you name it. Everybody was a part of my life in 2015. My family came together for Grant's graduation. Grant introduced me to several former students whom I got pictures with, and captured the essence of Grant's graduation. It was exactly on that day when my 180-day countdown blog ended. Lake Nautilus with Chris and Carol Smith. Meetings and greetings at the Claremont Post Office. In 2015, I had my first colonoscopy and my annual mammogram. Ooh, and I spent time with each room in the queendom and discovered all kinds of things. Grant celebrated his 18th birthday that year. And in Macon, I got to play with Sterling's marbles. We also visited the vacant city lot that I studied when we were living in Macon, and I was in graduate school. In late June, we got together with our favorite friends at a really nice beach house on St. George Island. Chris, Carol, Jim, Dorothy, and their girls, and our kids, and Grace, and Rakeem. I remember one of the shenanigans was greeting Grace and Rakeem when they showed up in her Mazda with water balloons. That may have been the first time that rock met punk. Our favorite bird dog passed away on that beach. Chris and Carol had already lined up a vet to cremate and return the ashes to Decatur. In July, we went to Roswell, and I visited my old alma mater, Crabapple Middle School. Our annual Paris River meeting was at Lake Lure, where I did my first and only zipline adventure. During these first 6 months of retirement, I got to be with family. I got to dine out and ride on a boat and celebrate life on Earth in all my favorite environments. I learned new photography skills and played catch-up with friends and formers before sending Grant off to college in Kansas. In August, we celebrated Lake Nautilus with Bob and Lisa, Vine and Cheese, and Alexis. Grace brought her friends here to the Queendom for a bridal shower. Marker 7 in Athens, en route to Sandersville, where we visited with Brenda and Ray. And now that Grace was living in Decatur, we got to spend more time with Chris and Carol, too. And boy howdy, Newsom remembers hauling that thing up 3 flights of stairs. In August of 2015, we celebrated our 31st anniversary. The very best part of 2015 is yet to come.